Oh, okay. Let's do it. We're already ready, guys. We're already here to transition over. Never mind. I hope that was a quick hydrate. We're ready to play some Chicory here. Welcome in. Leif, how you doing?
Hey, doing great. Stoked to be here.
I'm really curious to see what you do here with this game, because I mean I've never played it. I've only seen it.
Oh, you've never played it? Okay, well that gives me a few fun little intro questions for you. Do you like art, Diffuse?
A little bit. As
A
in
little
lot,
bit?
actually. A lot, actually, yeah.
A lot? Okay. Do you like the complicated feelings that come with, trying to be an artist and expressing yourself?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Well, don't worry about it. We're going to be skipping past most of those parts.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair.
I have one last major question for you before we'll be ready to kind of get the clock ready and get moving, and that is, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food would have to be, it's something that I grew up with, and they're Persian kebabs. Kebabs. I love them so much.
Kebabs.
Yes.
All right. Well, Kebabs is going to be the name of our doggo for this game, our main character. This run goes fast. There's going to be a lot of tech happening. We'll have a few breaks during what amounts to a lot of the boss fights in this game, so I'll keep you posted as far as good donation time. Only other major thing to note is just this category name is weird. All Bats stands for All Bosses and Trials. So you can think of this kind of like what you would see for an all dungeons run in a Zelda game. There's lots of out of bounds stuff that can let you skip a ton here. We're actually going to show off about as much as we can of the main plot, short of the cutscenes and the actual events.
Gotcha. Okay.
So with that said, I can give us a countdown and we can jump right in.
Let's do it. Whenever you're ready.
All right. I'm going to go from 3. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So first off, I have cutscene skip bound to a button here, and it is useful for a lot of stuff. All of these little black flashes that we get cleaning this opening room, that is stuff that you can cutscene skip. Screen transitions like this, we're cutscene skipping. It saves a bunch of time as you go. So we are going to replace our janitor's brush with the actual paintbrush. This is going to be what gives us most of our abilities throughout the game. So we kind of get let loose upon the world. I'm going to be pre-painting a lot of areas that'll be useful for movement tech later. Speaking of movement tech, that's pot clip. There's a pot in that cafe. We're gonna walk the wrong way and do a quick reset because I accidentally clipped into the wrong boss fight. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Our name is still Kebabs. Fortunately, we can make mistakes like that less than a minute into the run.
I'm already mesmerized. I really am.
There's a boss theme playing, so you get some weird behavior when you're doing the save and quit thing here. Songs that are supposed to play will keep trying to play. Weird stuff happens. So anyways, we get to show off pot clip again, and it's as simple as just walking there and wiggling really fast. There's Pickle. Pickle's a good fox. We're not really going to be talking to them much. Don't mind that spider there. So we're on the background layer of this cave that we would normally be going into later. And we're going to be kind of doing some navigating in the dark here to skip a lot of stuff. So here we are. You can barely see my little doggo off screen. Oh, let's see. I want to be... Okay, I'm a little bit too far to the left, but that's okay. We can go around. Whoop. Just a little bit more. There we are. We're on screen again. We're going to clip into the corner of this room. So screen transitions can happen right at the cardinal directions of a screen, but you can also clip into the corner, and that can save you a screen. Nice little quick time save, and we're at the first boss. This is a great time if we have any donations to get those in. A lot of the bosses in this game kind of end up being like auto-scrollers. There's very little we can do to actually speed them up. It's mostly going to be just dodging patterns and hitting them when we can.
Sure. Actually, we don't have any new donations to report, but I can definitely give some more information on Ore. Real quick here. So the Fastest First Spring Spectacular is once again raising money in support of ORE, which is the Organization for Autism Research. ORE's mission is to apply research to the challenges of autism. Their programs revolve around funding new research and disseminating evidence-based information in a way that is easily accessible and understandable by everyone. For more information, please visit them at www.researchautism.org.
Sweet. So yeah, this boss fight is moving him on. You might have noticed me take some damage there. Like everything else in this game, damage can be cutscene skipped as well. So it is faster to just kind of be passively mashing the cutscene skip button if you're worried you're going to be taking damage. There are some little speed optimizations you can do with this boss. You'll see me kind of doing it now. I'm preemptively painting the area. The paint will stay on the ground and hit the boss on the earliest possible frame it can. So on the moments where we actually do need to be hitting bosses quickly and consistently, we'll be trying to do that where it's applicable. There are going to be some bosses that can kind of dodge this approach. And it should be one last cycle. Oh, there we go. So that's the first boss. Yeah, so how you feeling? We're already getting some art and some emotions in, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm feeling it.
So what we got out of beating the first boss is the glow paint. First off, all these dark room navigations we were doing earlier, much easier with the glow paint. More importantly, it'll make those little weed things there, they look kind of like seaweed, it'll cause them to shrink when we paint over them. And we're going to use that on this very next screen to do another clip. So again, we pre-painted here. We simply save and quit to title, respawn, and we got clipped up onto this top ledge here. Then we simply run to the left, and here's the next boss. And by next boss, this is more like the 5th boss. This is a boss that can be a little bit RNG dependent. Right now it doesn't have a hitbox, so that's kind of amusing. We're gonna mess cutscene skip here because this is a little bit of a fake out boss. We're going to see our main character, Chicory, for the first time. Hi, Chicory. We're mashing click here because we can get a free hit in early. I barely heard it, it's a little bit quiet, but we got the free hit. So this is gonna be another kind of just like a dodging and clicking sort of fest. There is ways that you can do this really quickly if you manage to get like every possible hit on Chicory. That's a little tricky to do even if you're like pre-inking. We're going to get our next big piece of movement tech. If you thought we were breaking out of bounds now, oh gosh, wait until we finish this boss. We're going to be doing a lot of boundary breaking. Otherwise, fairly conventional boss, just another good old-fashioned dodge the stuff, click, and roll from there. So if you have any other announcements or donations, now's a great time.
Absolutely. We actually just did get a $10 donation from Zeplander.
Hey, my boy.
Tuned in thanks to Leif. Let's heck and go, they said.
My good boy. Zeplander's a great egg. He's been doing Tetris Attack speedrunning lately and recently got a top 10 time on the very hard leaderboard. So, dude's a good lad.
It's very fascinating to me, like watching you play this. I'm just curious. What does the regular game look like? I would assume it's totally different than this. I mean, as far as
much different. Those emotions things, you get a lot more of those. You get a lot more nice little like peaceful, happy bits. The bosses are really where a lot of the like darker emotional studies take place. So I was maybe a little bit off in saying we're not going to be skipping past the emotional stuff, but it's okay. We'll just like minimize the number of cycles we have to deal with the rough feelings and move on quite promptly from there.
Interesting. So, if you get hit by their trail right there, does that damage you as well, or how does that work?
The trail is a little bit finicky. I've had mixed results with it, honestly. Anyways, we beat that and we get jump. Jump is ridiculous. Right now we're kind of stuck in the swamp though, so we're gonna do a save and click clip here. By jumping over this boundary where there's water, we can save and clip and make it to the other side. And we're going to do that again right here. And there we go. There's 2 quick clips. We're going to pre-ink the water here. We'll be traveling here later. And now we're going to do what's called the ledge clip, where you basically jump outside near the edge of the screen and you can get it back in bounds. And we're back into the first dungeon of the game, which we kind of skipped earlier. We're going to pre-ink a little bit over there. There's stuff we can do later there. Likewise over here. But now we're back in the starting area of the game. Aside from clipping abuse, jumping is also the fastest form of movement available to us right now. So we're going to try and jump whenever possible, whenever it makes sense and doesn't disrupt our navigation. Even here, there's little optimizations. You can jump across that little gap. We also have jump a lot earlier than we should. So that's going to result in some interesting stuff coming up momentarily. So we got a little bit of dark navigating to do in this room. We'll go up, and wouldn't you believe it, we got another edge clip. Quick save and quit, continue. And we're back on the layer that we should not be on, and welcome to Wielder Temple. This is where we first kind of learn a little bit more about, like, the nature of the brush and the tradition that goes on with people that are carrying it. Lots of art stuff. Forget that. Forget the puzzles. We've got places to be. These big blocks, believe it or not, you can jump just nice and cleanly across them. Dark room here. Now, the boss fight is immediately to the left. We're going to pre-ink that room. It'll be handy later. And here we are. Next boss. This is the actual boss of Wielder Temple, and this time we're going to see that big scary-looking rabbit thing again, but it is going to be a real rabbit with a hitbox. We don't want to touch it. Of the auto-scroller bosses in Chicory, this is probably the most auto-scroller. It has a very cool music theme, and the AI for the boss is actually synced to some of the music cues, meaning that even if you, like, get through these hit cycles quickly, you'll still have to wait for the song to hit certain points. So, again, not too much else to say about it. We do have jumps sooner than we should. Aside from moving faster, which can let us outrun certain patterns, the jump is fully invulnerable while you are jumping, so you can potentially dodge hits. It's a very important ability for, like, the entire speed run, and there are even some routes and categories where you ditch the first boss glow paint and just go immediately for the jump.
It definitely seems OP for sure.
Again, otherwise, another boss, which means more auto-scroller. We can hit it to despawn that tentacle, but we're going to be unable to hit it for a bit, so any more donation or announcements? Now's a great time.
Let's see. Do we have any more donations to report? None as of right now, but I will say, as a reminder to everybody out there, all revenue from Twitch subscriptions and cheered bits received during Fastest Burst Spring Spectacular will be donated to our chosen charity or the Organization for Autism Research. Go fast and get yourself our Fastest Burst emotes now, including our new PB ball emotes. And don't forget to check out and see if you have your free Prime Gaming sub available too.
That's a good point. Speaking of the merchandise, you may notice that my little otter here is wearing a very cute shirt. You can get those. They're very good shirts.
That is adorable, actually. Speaking of which, I'll go ahead and put exclamation point merch in the chat.
So you may have noticed that I took a hit there. I actually took 2 hits. The way the health system in Chicory works is you have your normal expression, and then you have a wounded expression when you take a hit. If you take another hit when you're wounded, you don't really die, you just get reset to the beginning of whatever phase you were on with that boss. You'll know when you've made it through a boss phase based on your expression going back to neutral. That indicates that you've gotten your hit back.
Okay.
But that's the end of this boss. We get our brush back, and we get our next major piece of movement tech, the ink swim. Now all of the ink that we've been painting on the ground, we can just dive into and swim. It is slightly faster than jumping. The fastest movement that we can really do is called dolphin jumping like this, where we jump in a rhythm while we're swimming in ink. It's probably the trickiest form of movement because you have to be managing your mouse and your dog at the same time. All right, now we have a puzzle here. Fortunately, it's the same solution every time. And hey, we're back in the Wielder Temple. Don't worry, we're not going to be here for long. Nice little edge clip right here. And hey, that's that area we pre-inked before. We're going to be going back through Nibble Tunnel here towards our next major objective. So we're just zooming here, clip through the corner here. Hey, we're in Wielder Tower now. Didn't quite get the corner clip there, but that's okay. Now we're going north, and our next destination is going to be the City of Dinners. Hey, we're already inside some of the shops there. Look at all these cute Firstonas. Oh, they're gone. So here we are. We're getting the transit pass. This is going to let us use the fast travel benches that we find throughout the game. Fun fact, we're playing in English. It is the fastest language because the English script is written such that our main character, Kebabs here, does not need to be referred to with a gender. So in other languages of the game, when you're getting your transit pass or setting up your new character, you actually get prompted for pronouns, but because the English script doesn't require them, it is faster. We save a menu prompt doing it. So as Punchy said in the GDQ run of this category, it is faster to simply ignore gender.
Wow. How did you go about learning all these techniques? Was it a lot of your own research or looking up other speedrunners?
Honestly, my initial notes and routing came strictly from just like watching Punchy's GDQ VOD, and just kind of like taking notes, just like, okay, you do this here, you do this here, and then everything else has come from the Chicory speedrunning Discord, which I highly recommend if you're interested in running this game or learning more about some of the other categories. Check them out; they're a very good community. Excellent new tricks and technology. I've already, just from like learning a few tricks that I didn't know about in the past few days, managed to shave like nearly 4.5 minutes off of my PB.
Wow.
Ooh, I hope I didn't do that too soon, but anyways, we just did all of a Grub Deep. It's a bug-themed dungeon. You may have noticed me kind of move some big rocky bug dudes out of the way to clip through a wall, very similar to what we did with those little weed reed things earlier. Ooh, one more, come on, there we go. Grub Deep is normally kind of an obnoxious dungeon because you have to manage the positioning of those dudes. They don't always reliably go where you want them to. There's lots of backtracking, but we can just get out of bounds really quickly and ignore most of it. Now we're against shadow kebabs, dark kebabs, evil kebabs. This fight is one of the fights that you can actually do quickly. There's multiple phases here. This first phase, or rather, I guess second phase. The first phase went by really quickly. In this second phase, we have stuff to dodge. While the barrier's up, we can do absolutely no damage. So we're just going to dodge this projectile, try to lure it into the corner here. And then you'll see another one spawn on the opposite side. That breaks the shield down, and we can start actually hitting the boss. I took a hit there, but that's okay. Now we're past the bomb phase. We don't need to worry about that anymore. This is just kind of a how fast can we hit the dog moment. The answer is fairly fast. Do not be fooled that the dog's sad looks. This dog has cost me so much time over the course of my runs.
Can imagine.
Okay, and that's that fight complete. We get the brush again, and now we have the wall swim ability. Fun fact about the wall swims, if you're mashing jump while you're going up a wall that is covered in paint, you can go a little bit faster while you're jumping up there. We're also, of course, going to be using this to be on places that we shouldn't be. So anyways, now we're leaving Feast. We got the corner clip, nice, saves us a screen.
It's just so fascinating to me. I'm like, just speechless what you're going through here.
There's a lot, and what's kind of amusing is you don't actually need to learn too many tricks to get far in the game. It takes a bit of practice getting the muscle memory and key bindings down to do the quick save and quits, but once you've learned those, you can get going and get like solid times pretty quickly, and those techniques are also applicable to other categories and patches. I'm playing on 1.0. We do have separate leaderboards for separate patches because some of the technology and clips got patched out. There's still a pretty active glitchless community as well, so yeah, there's so much you can do with this game. Anyways, we very quickly left a boss fight, only to clip through a cave into another boss fight. This is the Blackberry fight. This is one of my favorite fights in the game. It's not too taxing. It's got a really cool music theme, and I think it's just very visually pleasing to look at. The kind of checkerboard designs. This is another one that we don't have too many means of accelerating through, so if we've got more donations or announcements, this is a good time.
Okay, let's see. No more donations yet, but we just talked about merch earlier. Let me go ahead and mention this to you guys, that we are excited to offer 3 incredible marathon t-shirts created by furry artists specifically for this event. Use the command !merch for a link to the Fastest First store and check out Honk by Tali Soundwave, Spring Squad by Arukun14, and Fierce Felines by Autumn Wyvern. All proceeds from the shirt sales will be donated to OR, which again is the Organization for Autism Research, and they will only be available for a limited time, so order yours now, please. Go ahead and put that link in the chat as well. Yeah, I'm just, I don't want to distract you too much because you're so like, you're in it, you know, but I'm actually curious what even got you into speedrunning in the first place.
Oh gosh, honestly, having too many friends that are speedrunners, that's a very quick way to get gatewayed into speedrunning at all. I first started with Celeste at the very first Fastest First. That was my first ever marathon run. And have kind of picked up a complete hodgepodge of different genres from there. Most of my speedrunning impetus or inspiration is, wow, I like this game, I finished it, and I don't want to stop playing it, is the speedrun I'm using.
Totally valid. I love it.
So getting back to the run, actually, because that's a good segue. So this boss fight here is actually one of the trials that we're doing. We've done most of the boss now. Finishing this boss, we do get an upgrade to our swim, but we're not going to be using that to break out. We're actually going to do a trick here called camera storage. So we take a picture after saving quitting, and normally we don't have a means of warping back to this room, but by taking a picture in the middle of a save and quit process, having the camera up on that first initial screen, you can warp back here. And this is huge for time saving. There's a lot of tricky routes to get from the end of that trial to where you're supposed to be, but instead we can just warp right back immediately to the front door of the next boss. This boss is another one that we can't really speed up at all. In fact, we don't even hit this boss. This is strictly a dodging gallery. This is Chicory being sad. We do have to do this boss to get her in a story position to do the rest of the trials. But yeah, it's, again, another nice fun little auto-scroll boss. Not too much to worry about. There's going to be one bit of RNG in the next couple of phases of the boss. It's less a does this slow things down RNG and more of a does this give me a hard time form of RNG. So that's phase 1. We're going to just mash cutscene skip to get past this here. Into the next phase.
I'm really loving their shaders and the patterns and everything I'm seeing. Really cool.
It's very cool. It's also every pixel that you're seeing in these bits here has a hitbox on it, so you want to let absolutely nothing touch you if at all possible. It is remarkably finicky how much work they put into this bit in particular.
That's pretty incredible.
Okay, here's the RNG segment I mentioned. You can kind of manipulate these kitty paws by running along the border of the screen, but you'll see that they leave these trails afterwards. We want to make sure that those trails aren't too far in our way to dodge these next couple of attacks. You can get yourself pinched in a nasty spot, and you just don't want to see that because you're taking hits, and even if you cutscene skip the hits, it's still time loss. So now we're getting into the final phase of this boss. My personal favorite pattern in a boss fight right here. I love these little alternating moving balls. I love them so much that I'm going to get hit by them. Playing with fire a bit there, but that's okay. This round of the claws will fortunately not leave a trail behind, but we do have to deal with them in a smaller, confined area. And we don't have to deal with them for long, thankfully. Alright, that's the end of this boss. We'll be mashing cutscene skip, and then we'll be doing the remaining 3 trials that we haven't done yet. So we take the brush. Chicory's feeling better now. Okay, yeah, okay, sure. We're gonna just do a little bit of pre-painting here while I'm in the area. We'll be climbing up that wall at the Wielder Tower in due time. So to get to the next area, we're going to be doing the Rainforest History Trial. And this is a trial where you're supposed to be learning all about, like, the rich history of being a wielder and what they bring to the community and all of that. And there's a big puzzle leading up to it. We got to get a bunch of flowers and stuff, but we're just gonna not do that and instead just go directly to the end of the area. Through Summer Woods here, or Supper Woods rather. So let's get around here. This is why we pre-inked this area earlier, and this is the screen. Now, this is one of the finickier, trickier edge clips in the game. There are 2 edges we can clip on from this little corner. Hopefully we get the right one. If not, we have a backup. Okay, we didn't get the right one, so we're just going to do the backup. We'll clip through into Banquet Rainforest proper. The actual screen we're trying to get to is that one screen immediately right, but we ended up on the wrong bit of terrain. But that's okay. We can just ledge clip up those walls there as a backup. jump down here, and this is the screen we were trying to get to. So we'll talk to Chicory. She will give us flowers if we didn't actually collect the ones that we were supposed to on the way here. We'll plant them. It's fastest to just plant them in the corner nearest where they are in your inventory. Tell Chicory we planted our flowers, and that's the end of that trial. Let's go to the cafe. We're never going to that cafe again. Normally, you get multiple options there based on the different places you've been to, as far as, like, going on a, like, date, hangout, casual, chill thing with Chicory instead of being wrapped up in wielder business, but we're not going to worry about that. We got the transit pass earlier to go here. This is part of why we pre-inked this area. We're going to... Whoop, actually made it directly into the water without needing a jump. Nice, that'll save some time if I can not accidentally hit the menu button. Anyways, now we're going to the Spoons Island trial. This is another entire dungeon map. There's lots of very tricky puzzles here, but we're just going to edge clip past them. And here's Chicory. So this is the end of the trial. What we're supposed to be doing here is painting our wielder self-portrait. Let's see. What do we look like? We look like that dog, but... Whoop, that's... No, we are not finished yet. Let's see. What the heck does our mascot look like? There's kind of like some big ears, right? Something like that. And then there's a snout, I think. We'll do a little snout there. Yep. And then we're kind of spunky. We're ready to go fast. Rawr. Oh gosh, that's a little bit too spunky. We're looking mad. That's okay. And we're a cheetah, so we got spots, because that means we're fast. Happy Fastest Furs 2022. Shoutouts to everyone involved. We're great. That looks like a great self-portrait. Yep. Yeah, that's the one. All right, cool. And that's that trial. You don't actually have to draw anything. You can submit literally a blank canvas, and you'll be fine. We're going to camera storage here because it's faster than backtracking normally. Cool, we're back here. Hey, look, there's our self-portrait. Beautiful. Now we're going to do one of my favorite splits in the game. We're going to be doing the last of our trials, which is going to be up here. So first off, we have a very tricky ledge clip. We're actually trying to clip up 2 ledges here. Nice, we got it. Okay, so now we want to be swimming, and very importantly, we want to be in swim form as we go through the screen transition. And we got it, cool. So now we're doing a swim in air to skip most of this mountain trial. We are on the background layer swimming. One thing about Chicory is while you are swimming in paint, if you are in paint when you go through screen transition, the game will give you a little pool of paint on the other side of the screen transition for you to live in. Which means if we do it on this screen where we're in the sky, the pool of paint will spawn in the sky. Hi, Chicory. Bye, Chicory. Whoop. Not quite the right screen there, but that's okay. Yeah, this is super fast. You can see a lot of a dungeon that we could be doing, but let's just not. Also, this is a fun super swim because you spend most of the time just, like, pooting your way through the sky because it's the fastest way to do it. Alright, so we keep on zooming up. This is nearing the end. We're going to clip through the top here to get on this part of the screen. Whoop, not quite where we want to be. There we go. Hi again, Chicory. Bye again, Chicory. Now we go through that little edge of the screen. And the actual cutscene trigger is right through the top of the map there. And that finishes that last trial. So we are in the end game now. We're going to do another camera storage here to escape, because it's faster than any other means out. And while we've been going around doing trials, things have been getting a little bit ugly on the outside. We're going to find that out firsthand in a moment here. Yeah, things are looking a little dark. We're just going to chat with Chicory really quick to get a cutscene set up. And here's the top of the Wielder Tower. We're going to pre-paint this area just so we can more quickly get in there next time. Now, this is the first part of Wielder Tower. This is where we start getting some RNG. We need to hit a number of cutscene triggers here. And we're basically going to be stuck going back and forth for a little while. So the trees that spawn here, that is where the RNG comes in. The game wants us to be taking a feels moment to, like, and will gradually make us go slower and slower, but they don't take our jump away, so we can actually just kind of zoom. You may also notice I'm not cutscene skipping as I go through stream borders here. I don't know the exact mechanics of it, but if you cutscene here, it will, like, sometimes screw up your progress towards finishing the segment. And speaking of finishing the segment, hey, here's the end of the segment. We get attacked by small doggo here. Or shadow doggo, shadow kebabs. And we lose the brush. oh no, whatever shall we do? All of our movement tech, all of our everything. We're sad we can't go anywhere. Not to worry, we have camera storage. We can escape from doing a bunch of walking back and forth. There's like many screens that we have to go through to get to an NPC that will let us loop back to where we're supposed to be, but like everything is shut off due to apocalyptic circumstances. You can't use the transit bench. All of your paths back to the home area are sealed off. We got nothing to do. But we just dodged that whole sequence through camera storage. And we go here, talk to Chicory, and we're going to get a new brush back by growing one with the power of our mind and feelings. So this is another good donation spot. The one thing that I'll say mechanically here about the fastest way to do this is holding your mouse in the corner and just holding down. We've timed it. We've tried other things. The fastest way of doing this is to just pick a corner and hold the mouse button down.
Well, looks like we don't have any more donations that have come in yet, but just a reminder to all of you. First of all, thanks for being here. But also, if you do, if you have, whether it's a $1 donation, you have some bits or subs to gift out, everything that goes towards these streams all go towards OR, which is the Organization for Autism Research. So anything you can contribute would be greatly appreciated, okay? I'll put some links in the chat for you guys to donate and get more information on the cause. But thank you very much, even for just tuning in and spreading the word, you guys. It means a lot.
Sweet. So yeah, we got our brush back, just navigating up, and now we are in the final boss. This is a multi-phase fight. Some of the phases we can speed up, some of them are hugely RNG. This is probably the most, like, speed-determining RNG that we encounter in the run. Fortunately, this first phase does not have too many issues with it. We're gonna hang out close to the brush here, to try and bait it into attacking us. That way we can just kind of, like, gradually accelerate this phase. As you can see, there's still a little bit of a cooldown, though, between attack phases. Those of you Undertale fans that like the big, epic, final Technicolor confrontations will love the finale of this game. We get a nice, fun little rehash and a great musical theme, all by Lena Raine, same artist that did Celeste, and Wandersong, and a whole bunch of other things that you have probably listened to at some point in the past and thought, wow, that's cool music. Vibing through the rest of this phase.
This game is just so creative. It's very pretty.
All right. Now we're in my possibly least favorite phase. This is the final match against Shadow Kebabs here. As you can see, the weird reflection where we have to paint with not exactly our brush comes back. We also have things to dodge in the process. Okay, so eventually she takes one of the brushes away and starts chasing us with it. I don't know why I the Shadow Kebabs for whatever reason, because like I said, we got Vamers here. They doggos. For this part of the phase, what we do is we need to lure the dog near a bomb that spawns, paint the bomb, hit her with the hitbox with it, and then get that second round of coloring going. So there we are. That's RNG, but nice, we got it. Cool. Cool. There's that phase done. That was actually a pretty quick phase, so nice. I've had to take extra cycles there, and it's rough. Here we see Shadow Chicory again. We can try hitting her, and nothing will work. She cannot be hit right now. We need to wait for a cutscene to happen. This is a cutscene that I'm going to very deliberately not preemptively cutscene skip. If you screw up, you can definitely softlock the game here. There's weird stuff that happens when you skip cutscenes before NPCs are supposed to spawn. So there's the wait, we skip the cutscene, and we have normal Chicory with us. She has a fresh new brush. She's going to help us out for the rest of the final boss fight. So now that Chicory's with us, the way that she works for this fight is she will, at periodic intervals, attempt to attack the boss. There is a counter that determines, like, when she is allowed to hit the boss. So because she recently got a hit, her next hit is a guaranteed miss. And the hit after that is usually a guaranteed miss as well. Once she is allowed to hit, then it's still more RNG because you have to wait for the boss to do a pattern where it can be eligible to get hit. Wow, we got a really fast cycle there. Nice. And then we get to move on from there. So now we have a Blackberry phase. Again, it's going to be mostly a rehash of the previous version with slightly harder obstacles, and we can't be hitting Blackberry. We need to have Chicory do it for us. Let's see, any other fun final boss facts about Chicory here? If we actually get hit to a point where we take damage, there's a cool little cutscene that you get if you die. Normally when you die, you just get rewound back. But if you die while Chicory is on screen here, you get a fun little scene of Chicory, like, picking you back up. Because she's a sweetheart.
Aw, I like that.
It's a very sweet little touch. There's lots of cool little things like that going on in this game. So I'm hovering my mouse over Chicory specifically here because there's... Yep, right there. So eventually Blackberry will grapple Chicory like this, and you have to break her free before she can do attacks again. We usually see at least one more grapple phase in this fight. I have, I think, once gotten to where I managed to only have to do a single grapple phase. I don't think that's going to be happening this time. We'll probably have to break Chicory out again. Nice simple alternating patterns, just walk back and forth to dodge them. Yep, there's the other grapple. We want to try and get her out as quickly as possible so that she can try to get an attack in at the earliest available moment. Just like that, beautiful. If we'd gone too slow, we would have missed that window where Chicory could have gotten a hit. And now we're in the final phase. We'll want to be keeping an eye out for time. After about 1.5 to 2 minutes here, this fight will be done, and there's not too much we can do to accelerate the final phase other than, you know, like, not die. This is the most bullet helly section of the run. We're going to get a bunch of different patterns here. They're tricky, they're rough. We got some slashes to dodge. The first phase is really easy, but we're going to see, yep, my least favorite pattern, abstract art. It moves kind of randomly, like other things that we've seen in this game. If it's got a pixel on it, it will hurt you. And it kind of just keeps, like, thudding out. You can sort of see holes in it that you can jump over. But, it's still going to be a bit of a hazard. There's kind of no getting around it. Now we have the fleur-de-lis phase. We get these lovely vines launching after us. Fortunately, they can go in completely the wrong direction. We're expecting some more abstract art as these leaves are falling. Next attempt, I believe Chicory gets a hit. Whoop, I accidentally jumped back into the hitbox. That's okay. Okay, we need to really not get hit by this abstract art here. Nice, alright, we're safe. Oh, I was wrong! Chicory didn't get the hit. This one should be, though. That's good. That's an important hit because this should move us to a safe phase. Yep, our health is back up. So we can afford to take a hit now. Okay, you're being pretty forgiving now, Brush, by going exactly away from me with these hitboxes. This is the final phase, actually, so there will be a white flash after Chicory lands the final blow, and I'm madly painting this boss, and that white flash is going to be time. That is not the white flash I am referring to. That was me taking damage. Oh, whoops. That's okay, we should still be in this phase. A little bit of time lost, but nothing too miserable. Wow! Oh, no.
You can do it.
We're so close. We also need Chicory to do it here. We need some cooperation from our girl. Okay. Dodge this round of abstract art. Whoo! That was close. We almost got clipped by that corner there. Now stay away from the top of the screen so we don't get domed by a feather. Okay, get ready for time. Once this flash happens, that's time.
Excellent. Great job.
How'd we do?
I think it was, I got stream lag, about 37 minutes? 37:01.
37:01. Okay, not quite sub 37, but still pretty solid. That's about around my average run time. Yeah, that's Chicory, gang. Fun little game. There's we have this credit sequence here. There's technically a cutscene that we can skip within it, but the timing ends at the last input, the last real input, which is going to be that final boss frame. And yeah, the goal of the game is to restore color to the world, and we're doing that. We get a nice, pretty rain of color. We have some unskippable credits, unfortunately. There's a fun little gag for speedrunners at the very end of the credits, and I know we're ahead, but we're probably not that far ahead. But yeah, huge shout out to the Chicory speedrunning Discord and WikiBrush, which is where we are gradually starting to expand our library of new runner resources. Sushi Kishi is the admin of that Discord. They've got so many good videos and resources, playlists on YouTube for different categories and tech that you can do. Also need to give a huge shout out to KaizoBuzz, who taught me quite a few of the tricks that we got to see. Pop clip right at the very beginning of the run. I wasn't doing that in my submission run. Likewise with camera storage. There's just new stuff that is being discovered by accident or that is suddenly having applications in categories that people didn't originally consider. So yeah, fun game, fun community, lots of cute furries. If you do want to play this game casually, I highly recommend it. The emotional journey is actually very good. It did get me out of a art rut and just was very good for my mental health to explore this game. It's got heavy topics, but I think it is well worth your time. Very cute, very fun, very endearing. And if you speedrun it, hit me up. I would love to see more people in the community. There's so much room for people to hop in.